Getting hit up at Disneyland. Okay. Hello and welcome to Cali Legends Media. Once again, I want to start off by saying thank you to all the subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you. We're trying to hit that 10,000 subscriber goal. So I'd appreciate if you watch the videos, you come by often and check them out. If you would mind subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. If you didn't, and you hit that subscribe button down below, set that notification bell in all, so that way you'll be notified whenever we drop a new video. Yeah, so if you could help us out, we'd really appreciate it. So I seen a clip yesterday, and it shows PFACE, who's a southern rapper, getting hit up at Disneyland. Okay. Now, there's these two guys that are dressed all in blue. Complete blue outfit. One of them has a complete blue outfit and a blue hat. All blue. Both of them have blue on. And PFACE kind of have different colors on, you know? But
are you ready, bitch ass nigga? Hey, we gotta take pictures here. Show's over here.
hit PFACE up, right? And I guess they know who PFACE is. You know, they were youngsters. They probably spotted him and said, "Hey man, check it out. There's that fool, PFACE." Oh hell no! Hey, Puro Norte, boom, kicked off, right? Well, PFACE had one by the t-shirt, cracking him in the head, and the other one tried to jump in, and he cracks him, and dude lands on his back, or on the floor, and he lets this guy pulls himself out of PFACE's hand. The t-shirt comes out. So PFACE hits him. The other dude's coming in. PFACE hits him. Now these dudes are backing up, man. They're backpedaling, and PFACE is like, "Come on, man, why are you running?" And he's just digging into these fools, right? I didn't want to show the clip because I don't want to give support to that kind of activity. To tell you the truth, I would have probably tripped when I was a youngster, but man, that shit ain't nothing funny no more. In a lot of theme parks, concerts, car shows, even cruising, things are happening that are preventing our raza to have the kind of fun that they can have if all this crap wasn't going on, I'll give you a perfect example, man. Cruising on Whittier Boulevard, it was a long-time tradition. And when the cruising first started, they seemed to make it a point, even though there was other cruising spots, they made it a point to cruise Whittier Boulevard. Well, now you hardly see anybody down there. You go down there and, you'll pass a couple of bombs, maybe a couple of lowriders just cruising on by. But it's not that old school cruising like before. And I think a lot of it has to do with the sheriff's department, because all of a sudden they started coming down hard on the cruisers. They started pulling them over and harassing them, and doing all kinds of dumb shit. Well, that, along with all of the gang activity that's been going on down there and the violence, I guess they just decided, man, to just take it somewhere else, to avoid all that madness. And it's a shame, because I don't believe it's never gonna have cruising again, but it was starting to pick up. Was starting to get a lot of cars coming through, even though a lot of them were parked. Back in the days, you didn't park your car. You were cruising. You were in your cars. You were bumping music. Guys jumping in cars with girls jumping in cars with guys, and taking off to a club or something, or even if they go park somewhere and just kick it, and get to know each other. And it seemed to have changed morphed into something else, which was still enjoyable. But I think it's gotten to the point now that it's just the police just make it really difficult to have a good time. On top of that, we have people, our own raza, going in and it's cruising. It has to do with cars, with lowriders, with socializing. They have nothing to do with going and bringing street activities to that kind of stuff. Neither do theme parks. Theme parks is no place for that. People take their families there, take their kids there. And there's been people that have been fired on, at theme parks, concerts, all you name the event, and I guarantee you sometime or another in some part of California, there has been some type of activity that either caused somebody's demise or caused somebody's health and put people's kids and family in danger, and that's not why people are going out. People are going out to look at the cars, listen to the music, if they're at a concert, dance, enjoy themselves. They go to a club to meet people and dance and have some drinks, and then somebody will walk in there banging their neighborhood that's miles away from that club, and they bring that neighborhood stuff into the club and they ruin everybody's time, man. So many things are happening right now at different clubs and stuff where people are getting holes punctured in them, and it dawned on me. One of my subscribers mentioned it, and they were like, "Hey, Lucky, like, you're not really helping the youth by doing what you're doing." I mean, the youngsters, they don't want to hear it. They're not gonna feel you. And I thought about it, and for the most part, he's probably right. But the ones that we gotta catch are the little ones that aren't involved yet. You know what I mean? And show them good times and how you could have good times without having to be from a gang or taking any type of drugs and stuff. We gotta catch the little ones, and start putting it in their head that lifestyle is no good for them or for their families or for their future, and it starts at home. Everybody knows it. It's not a secret. It starts in the home, and they say it takes a whole tribe to raise a child, so it's not only the mom and dad, but the aunts, the uncles, the cousins got to all be on the same page, bringing up this kid to believe he can do better in life. He can go to college. He can have a career. He could have nice things, and that's not even gonna always work. I used to always take my kids around to like places where there was really nice homes, and I would tell them, look, you could either live in a home like this or you could live in an apartment like where we're living, and we lived in the Kipentina apartments at the time when I would do this. And my kids don't even remember me doing that with them. They remember, one of them remembers me teaching them how to drive and going on missions and all that, little missions, like messing around in the railroad track, jumping over the wall to the train tracks or whatever, and fooling around, making up an adventure, They remember that, but they don't remember these things that I was trying to instill in their head. One of them did. He listened. He was about to get into a neighborhood, and I told him about the promise I had made my dad not to get into a gang until he passed away. He said, after I pass away, Mio, you do what you want, but at least I felt like I did my job while I was here on earth to keep you out of that lifestyle. And for the most part, he did. Sad to say that the day of his wake, I got into my neighborhood officially. My homeboys came and said, "Hey, Lucky, didn't you say you were gonna get in as soon as your dad passed?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, what clique you want to be from?" And this and that. And anyways, that's a story in itself. But my dad, at least I know he died thinking he did his job, and it worked. Although once he was gone, I did what I wanted to do. I didn't listen. I didn't pay attention, and it cost me greatly. And so I say that to say this: it's not always gonna work, but we got to try. You know what I mean? We got to try. Get these kids into boxing, martial arts, something that they like. If they like drawing, man, send them to art school or something that's gonna help them get better at what they're digging on. Anyways, I do these videos and I say these things because I really want to see things change. And I do see them changing. They are changing big time for the worse, Anyways, I just wanted to do this video today after seeing that clip of PFACE running out those two guys. Whenever a Sureño gets smashed up north, the guys up north are quick to brag about it and blast it all over their channels or whatever. This is probably an embarrassing situation for them because PFACE by himself gets hit up and gives these guys what they're looking for, and they ran. The all social media is gonna see them running from this one guy. You know what I mean? And I just thank God that nothing happened to nobody in the crowd or anything, and it didn't get more serious than that. It was just hands, and that's the way it used to be. It's not like that anymore. Now you just never know when someone's gonna pull a strap on you. Anyways, if any of you young people catch this, man, just a word of advice. I know, man, that the lifestyle will rob you for years that you can be focusing on your career, buying a home, having nice toys, horses, motorcycles, ATVs, and you might think of those things and say, "I'll never have those things." That's a lie of the devil. I used to think and feel the same way, and I've had all that stuff, So anything's possible if you set your head to it, Even if you're older, man, there's so many things that you think are so expensive, and they really don't cost that much, man. You could get a jet ski, start off with one, put your old lady in the back and fuck around in the water until you get two, and each drive your own or take turns drive. Man, just have fun with life, It really costs almost nothing to go fishing. You could go fishing off the pier, off a boat, in a lake, horseback riding. Horseback riding is a little, activity that really doesn't cost much, So many things to do. Enjoy life, man. Enjoy life, people. And, man, any of you guys out there that are still, with that street business, man, keep it in the street. Keep it in your neighborhood and the neighborhoods that you're messing with. But, man, keep that stuff out of regular people's lives, man. They're trying to do something with their lives. Kids are trying to go to school and learn. Families are trying to go out and enjoy Disneyland, Loxbury Farm, Universal Studios, these other places that they have the opportunity to go to, Let's keep all that nonsense in your neighborhood, man. Keep it out of those places. I know, like my subscriber said, man, they don't want to hear that. Then nobody's listening, and maybe somebody will think about it, and in this one situation that I'll never know about, and maybe it might save somebody's life. That being said, I'm gonna end this video. Thank you. God bless you. Stay safe, people. God bless your families. like I always say, stay free, man. Stay out from behind them walls. Let's stay out here, man, where we can do anything we want, anything that our heart desires and that we have the ability to do, you know, and be here also for our families, which is the most important thing, you know. And even if we're here and our family doesn't come around that much, that's okay. But you're here for them if they ever decide that they do need you for whatever they need you for, you know. So stay free, people. Stay free. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.